writer-director Elaine Mays, Mikey, and Nikki. Peter Falk's confronting him about the joke that happened in the restaurant.
It's painful.
I think that is not just one of the best scenes of this movie, if not the best scene in this movie, it's one of the best written and best acted scenes between two men in any film of the 70s, as far as I'm concerned. It is as good as any of the Harvey Keitel, Robert De Niro sequences in Mean Street or in Taxi Driver. He goes, I walked into that restaurant and you're sitting there with Resnick and I have to say your name 3 times because I'm too embarrassed to walk away without getting an answer. Yeah. And then you give me a little acknowledgement, and then just as I left, you turn to Resnick and you say, oh, wait a minute. I forgot to order the clams from that guy. Yeah, and you laughed. I said that for you. Yeah. I said that for you. I said, no, that's why I said it loud enough that you would hear. That joke was for you. That joke was not for Resnick. That joke was for you.
Sorcerer is, to me, one of the greatest movies ever made. The bridge scene is just one of the great suspense moments in cinema. It's one of the great filming of sequences, the imagery itself, the editing.
5 fingers to death. That part at the end when all of a sudden his fist glows red and you know he's going to use the iron fist. And they start playing the Ironside theme. They start playing Quincy Jones's theme. And you see it and he shows to the audience that the fist is glowing red. The audience lost their mind. And, you know, and it wasn't, and I've had audiences at the New Beverly lose their mind when we show that film at that moment.
Rocky 2.
Okay.
To me, one, I like Rocky 2 more than Rocky 1. And so now it starts the Gonna Fly Now montage. Yeah, dun, yeah, dun, 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 dun. And so he starts off by just doing his little jog. So he runs out of his Philadelphia tenement, and you see the Trans Am parked in the back. Now, it could have just be a mix-up of editing that, like, by the time he put that in there, it was meant to be for a scene before he sold the car.
Right. But
it's after he sells the car to Paulie. And the audience is so rooting for him. Everyone in the audience goes, he's got the car back! It's like things are going good for him. He got the car back, and now he's running, and now it's all going good, yeah!
I really like zombies.
Zombie fights a shark.
And then, the zombie fights the shark is just one of the greatest moments in cinema history. All right, as far as I'm concerned, it's just one of the most, cinema entre gens. Just like so outrageous, you can't believe what you're seeing. Am I really seeing this? Is this really happening? And then it has one of the great money shots of all time, with the eye into the splinter.
Corbucci's Sonny and Jed. I like the movie. I love 2 sequences, which I think are like 2 of Corbucci's greatest action sequences ever. Like the opening 10 minutes and then the scene in the corn barn. It's mind-blowing how good it is. Yeah. Telly Savalas literally makes a Molotov cocktail.
It's a Molotov cocktail.
They're looking for Jed and Sonny by sticking pitchforks in the corn, trying to. They know he's hiding there. They go, no, stop.
Yeah, let's have some fun. Let's make some popcorn.
No, stop. You gotta cook a pig before you stick a fork in it.
Yeah.
Horror has a face. And you must make a friend of horror.
There's a whole speech in Apocalypse Now when Brando's Kurtz tells the story of going into the village and inoculating all of the children in the village, shooting their arms with flu shots or something like that, inoculating them. And then the soldiers came in and then hacked off all the kids' arms. And then there's like a little pile of arms.
There they were in a pile of little arms.
And Kurt says, so we did all that, and then we came back in the village, and the next time we saw the little pile of all the little arms in there where they hacked them off. And I cried like a baby. Then I started thinking, the genius of that.
And I thought, my God, the genius of that.
The genius of that. Because these are not monsters. They're not demons.
These are men doing a job.
But these were not monsters. These were men, trained cadres.
And they had the force of will to take the job and take it to its logical conclusion of what they had to do.
The genius, the will to do that.
Black Guy. When Jim Brown sat behind his desk and Bruce Glover, Christmas father, and his other white gangster henchmen threatened him, and Gunn hits a button under the desk and a sawed-off shotgun dropped in his lap, the massive theater full of black males cheered in a way the 9-year-old me had never experienced in a movie theater before. At the time, living with a single mother, it was probably the most masculine experience I'd ever been part of.
The Jaws sequel. The one attack that's terrific, the one with Ann Dusenberry, where it's like the young guy and the girl and the sailboat. That attack is good enough to be in the first movie. You know, where the shark gets the guy and like heads towards the boat. That's good enough to be in the first movie. That's the one attack sequence that is good as the first film. That literally could have been in the first movie.
Fist of Fury Part 2.
Yep.
Lo Lee is practicing his calligraphy, and he's working on Chinese calligraphy, and Bruce Lee looks at it and he goes, "Oh no, this is actually quite good. You're very talented at this." And Lily's, "Oh no, not really. I'm only playing around. I don't have a wrist for the Chinese calligraphy. No. Don't sell yourself short. No, you really are very talented at this. I wouldn't say it if I didn't mean it."
I would have guessed you were so talented. Your Chinese paintings are extremely good.
You're too kind. Chinese paintings need flexible wrists.
and it's just this, you know, it's this wonderful back and forth that they have before they go out to kill each other. John Flynn's Rolling Thunder. When William Devane has tracked down the guys who killed his son and his wife, and he goes to Tommy Lee Jones's house, and they got to keep it cool initially, so they just kind of have dinner, and Tommy Lee Jones's family is just chattering through the whole thing, and two Vietnam vets are not really saying much. Then William Devane says, "Hey John, can I have a word with you?" And so they go into Tommy Lee Jones's bedroom, and they don't say hardly anything else. William Devane doesn't start with any preamble. "Hey, look, here's the deal. Oh, look, I came here to talk to you about something." No, nothing like that. William Devane just says, "I found the guys who murdered my son." Then Barry DeVore's Sing comes on, and Tommy Lee Jones takes a beat. 1, 2, 3. I'll get my gear. And the audience loses their shit.
Slidus. AKA spawn of the Slidus. Spawn of Slidus. Him being bitchy about the wife's dog. That makes sense for the situation going on. But then when I say this textual stuff off point is also in there as well, because the wife goes, "Well, honey, look, put on a robe. You don't have to get dressed completely. Just put on a robe." Have you ever seen me in the 5 years we've been married ever put on a robe? When you bought me that robe, it was a complete waste of money and my time. I will never wear that robe no matter what I do. And then it's just when he sees what Slidus has done
to the screen door.
To the screen door, like, oh, that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
John G. Albertson's Joe. He meets a racist, loudmouth, blue-collar, hard-hat worker named Joe, played in a star-making performance by Peter Boyle. Joe is sitting at the bar, drinking his beer after work, carrying on a profanity-filled America, love it or leave it rant about hippies, black folks, and society circa 1970 in general.
They get all that welfare money. They even get free rubbers. You think they use them?
Nobody in the working-class tavern is paying attention to him. The bartender even tells him, obviously not for the first time, "Joe, give us all a break."
They sell the rubbers. And then they use the money to buy booze.
Blind Rage. Yeah, they have a little balsa wood bank. That shot is so good because that shot clues you in that you've been watching this movie a little bit more than you thought you were.
Yeah.
Because now it's kind of exciting. And they actually do a big shot, an epic move for this cheap movie that shows all the blind guys getting into place in their little practice balsa wood bank. And it kind of just shows it off in this really cool way. And it just also shows that we're kind of keeping up with the movie. We're kind of like following it. And it starts getting exciting.